In the high-stakes arena of global finance, few names carry as much weight and as much mystery as Clarence Dillon. This is a 9-minute strategic briefing on the man who built the modern world. Today, we conduct a deep-dive investigation into William R. Loomis Jr.'s definitive biography. We will decode the blueprint of Dillon's power, from the Roaring Twenties to the modern era. Clarence Dillon was a revolutionary figure, rivaling titans like J.P. Morgan, yet he remains a Gatsby-esque enigma, a master of the invisible game of influence. We will analyze every chapter, from his early strategic gambles at Harvard to his creation of the very financial tools we use today in fintech and global commerce. Chapter 1, titled Veritas, takes us to Harvard. Dillon was an indifferent student, but a brilliant strategist who effectively majored in late-night poker. He viewed Wall Street as a game more fascinating than no-limit stud poker. He learned early when to open, when to raise, and critically, when to fold his cards. A key strategic move occurred on September 17, 1901. He changed his name from Liowski to Dillon to navigate the social and financial barriers of the era. Chapter 2 details his entry into finance. He wasn't just joining a firm, he was beginning a systematic campaign to dominate the entire industry with data-driven precision. In Chapter 3, his rise is depicted as meteoric. His analytical tone and sophisticated demeanor masked a ruthless efficiency that stunned the financial old guard. Dillon focused on precision. He analyzed technical indicators like RSI and VWAP long before they were automated, seeking the edge in every single transaction. Chapter 4 covers the expansion of Dillon Red & Company. It became a global powerhouse, challenging titans with modern and aggressive tactics that redefined the rules. Chapter 5 explores his network. From Thomas Edison to Charlie Chaplin, Dillon moved in circles of immense influence, bridging industrial power and entertainment. He was a kingmaker, positioning himself at the nexus of corporate and political power. He operated with an invisible but absolute authority that few could challenge. Chapter 6 is the turning point, the 1925 buyout of Dodge Brothers for $14,600, the largest industrial deal in history at that time. This wasn't just a purchase, it was the birth of the modern leveraged buyout. Dillon used unprecedented leverage to transform the scale of corporate acquisitions. This acquisition eventually led to the historic merger with Chrysler in 1927, solidifying Dillon's reputation as the master of industrial consolidation. Chapter 7 focuses on his legal innovations. Dillon helped create modern bankruptcy law, providing the framework for corporate restructuring we still use today. In Chapter 8, we see the invention of what we now call junk bonds. Dillon realized that high-yield debt could be a high-octane tool for corporate growth. He was the original architect of financial engineering, a term we now use to describe the sophisticated manipulation and movement of global capital. Chapter 9 details the wild excesses of the late 1920s. Dillon navigated this era of recklessness with a cold-blooded and analytical detachment. Unlike his peers, Dillon anticipated the Great Crash of 1929. He saw the technical indicators like MACD and market volume pointing to an inevitable collapse. He astutely folded his cards. By the time the market crashed, Dillon had protected his capital while the rest of Wall Street was being completely wiped out. Chapter 10 explores the aftermath. While the world suffered, Dillon was already planning for the next era of absolute financial dominance and recovery. In Chapter 11, his influence extends to global diplomacy. He shaped U.S. foreign policy, proving that Wall Street's power is truly borderless and global. This nexus between financial and political power is his most enduring legacy, and perhaps the most controversial aspect of his legendary career. Chapter 12 concludes with his legacy. Dillon's innovations in LBOs and junk bonds paved the way for the modern fintech and e-commerce era we live in. He was the real-life Jay Gatsby, sophisticated and elegant, yet utterly ruthless when the game of wealth was on the line. Clarence Dillon didn't just play the market, he invented the tools to control it. His life is a masterclass in strategic risk management and foresight. Today's briefings mirror his tactics. From front-page headlines to the business and finance sections, the same patterns of power and analysis persist. We analyze technical indicators like MACD and VWAP with the same precision Dillon applied to his early poker games at Harvard. Modern fintech is the direct descendant of his work. The speed and complexity of today's markets are built on his foundational engineering. Our investigative report shows the increasing engagement between the government and AI giants, a dynamic Dillon would have recognized instantly. From algorithmic warfare to global market dominance, the tools have evolved, but the objective remains the same: absolute strategic control. We review the key metrics of today's leaders. Just as Dillon analyzed Dodge, we analyze the giants of the digital and e-commerce age. Global news perspectives reinforce this narrative. The nexus between Wall Street and Washington is now a truly worldwide phenomenon. Quarterly results and recommendations from global broking houses show a market that is increasingly volatile yet full of strategic opportunity. A deep dive into the technical indicators reveals the true state of the market. We must look past the headlines to the data underneath. His life touched on the secret networks of power. the elite circles where decisions are made far from the public eye or scrutiny. From the dawn of civilization to the future of space tech, the desire for influence and legacy is a constant in the human story. The future of military and space tech is the next frontier for global capital. Dylan would have been at the absolute forefront of this expansion. As the quote from The Great Gatsby says, "So we beat on, boats against the current, borne back ceaselessly into the past." Dylan's dream was close, and he grasped it with both hands, reshaping the entire financial world in his ruthless image. In many ways, Dylan saw the code of the financial matrix before anyone else. He saw the world as a system to be mastered. We review the current economic indicators. The patterns of the 1920s are reappearing in the volatility and speed of the present. Commodity forecasts suggest a shift in global power. Dylan's ability to anticipate these shifts was his greatest competitive advantage. Market volatility, as measured by the India FIIX, is a reminder that the game is always changing. Only the analytical and detached survive. Recapping chapters 1 to 4, from the strategic poker games of Harvard to the aggressive and revolutionary expansion of Dylan Reed. Chapters 5 to 8, the global nexus of influence, the legendary Dodge buyout, and the invention of modern financial instruments like junk bonds. And chapters 9 to 12, navigating the Great Crash, shaping global diplomacy, and the enduring legacy of the Baron of Wall Street. Our investigative deep dive uncovers the corporate secrets and hidden agendas that continue to drive global markets today. The symbols of power are everywhere. Dylan understood how to speak the language of the elite and how to command their absolute respect. The tools of the future are already here. From humanoid robots to autonomous drones, the infrastructure of the new world is being built. In the global hubs of the future, the legacy of Clarence Dylan lives on in every digital transaction and every strategic market move. Global power is projected through both financial and military might. The connection between the two has never been more apparent or critical. Based on our analysis, we present 5 stock recommendations that align with a long-term, strategic, and detached investment approach. However, remember his greatest lesson: know when to fold. Investment risks are always present, and caution is the hallmark of the master. The future of fintech is a direct continuation of his pioneering work. The tools will become more complex, but the game remains the same. The way forward requires a balance of innovation and caution. Dylan's life is the ultimate blueprint for navigating the modern financial world. We move through the financial matrix, seeking the signal in the noise just as he did over a century ago. Strategize wisely, out. This has been an investigative deep dive into the Baron of Wall Street. Master your market, out.